Do you know how to say your birthday month in Spanish? Stick around to learn how to say all 12 months of the year with some simple memory tricks that I've used over and over again as a long-time Spanish learner. Welcome to Spanglish Friends, the podcast for true beginner Spanish learners.
Hola amigos, I'm Val, your co-host and experienced Spanish teacher from Venezuela.
And I'm Em, your Australian co-host who's been learning Spanish for 10 years.
Our goal is simple, to get you confident listening and speaking in beginner Spanish with content you'll actually use in real-life conversations.
Join the Spanish Friends community by subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts and following us on social media at Spanglish_friends. Let's get started.
Comencemos. Hola, hola, Spanglish amigos.
Hola amigos, and welcome to another episode of Spanglish Friends.
Bienvenidos al episodio 17, episode 17. Today we are covering a big one, los meses del año, the months of the year in Spanish.
Yes, and this is such a useful topic to start expanding your vocab, Spanglish friends, especially to be able to say things like what month you were born in.
Awesome. And tell us, what are the 3 questions our friends are going to be able to answer by the end of today's episode?
So you're going to be able to answer número 1, what are the 12 months of the year in Spanish? Número 2, what are the 2 tricks you can use to remember how to say the months of the year in Spanish? And número 3, how can you tell someone what your favorite month of the year is in Spanish?
Amazing. Let's kick things off with our conversación pequeña to introduce the concept you'll be learning today and practice your Spanish listening skills.
Yes, love it. And in today's conversation, Val is going to ask me how to say the 12 months of the year in Spanish. Plus, she's going to ask me what month my birthday is. Are you ready, Profe Val?
Sí, amiga. Comencemos. Hola, Em. ¿Sabes los meses del año en español?
Sí, los meses del año son enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre y diciembre.
Excelente, Emi. ¿En qué mes es tu cumpleaños?
Mi cumpleaños es en octubre.
Oh, el mío es en abril. Can you believe it, Spanglish friends? In just 10 minutes, you'll know everything you need to understand that whole entire conversation in Spanish. Let's start the clock and dive into our first question of the day.
Absolutamente, Val. And our first question is, how do you say the 12 months of the year in order in Spanish?
Here, amigos, the good news is they are very similar in sound to English.
That's right. And we're going to say each month slowly now so you can repeat after us. You can replay this section of the podcast as many times as you need to get these 12 months of the year cemented in your mind.
Here they are, one by one. Los meses del año, the months of the year, starting with enero.
Enero. This means January.
Next one, febrero.
This means February.
Marzo.
Marzo is March.
Abril.
Abril with a B is April.
Mayo.
Mayo means May.
Junio.
Junio is June.
Julio.
Julio is July.
Agosto.
Agosto is August.
Septiembre.
Septiembre is September.
Octubre.
Octubre means October.
Noviembre.
Noviembre, almost there, means November.
And last one, diciembre.
Diciembre, which means December.
Woohoo! Can you see it? That wasn't so bad, right? Spanglish friends, notice how similar many of them are to English.
That's 100% true, Val. And for me, as a native English speaker, the most different one is January, which is the only month of the year that starts with a different letter of the alphabet to its English counterpart. So the word for January, enero, starts with an E, not a J.
True, true. And you said you have some more tips to help us remember the months of the year in Spanish. That brings us to our second question of the day. What are the 2 top tips you have as a native English speaker to help our Spanglish friends memorize los meses del año en español?
Sure thing, Profe Val. Now, here are my 2 top tips for having learnt Spanish for 10 years now about how to remember the months of the year in Spanish. So, my top tips are number 1, the months of the year from January to August. Almost all of these months end with an O, the letter O. Enero, febrero, marzo, mayo, junio, julio, agosto. Okay, all of these end in the letter O. Simple to remember. But did you catch the one month that I left out? It's April, abril, spelled A-B-R-I-L, abril. Just think it's a brilliant month to forget the O. And my second top tip, Spanglish friends, is the months from September to December. All of these months end in B-R-E, bre, okay? We've got septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. So just remember from September onwards, you add bre.
Wow, fantastic. Love these 2 super handy tips. So in summary, friends, from January to August, the months end in O, except brilliant April, abril. From September to December, they all end in bre, B-R-E. And a quick note, in Spanish, months don't get capital letters unless they start a sentence, not like English where you always capitalize them, okay?
That's a great reminder, Val, and I still struggle with this now as a non-native Spanish speaker. When you write the months of the year in Spanish, you don't have to put a capital letter in the sentence. It's not required in Spanish.
Sí. Now we've arrived at our third and final question of the day. How do you ask and reply to someone, what month is your birthday in Spanish?
Someone might ask you, ¿Qué mes es tu cumpleaños? ¿En qué mes es tu cumpleaños? Let's break down that sentence. En qué means in what, okay? Mes, we know means month now, M-E-S, month. And then es tu cumpleaños means is your, and cumpleaños, the word we learnt back in our birthday episode 11, means birthday. So the sentence together, en qué mes es tu cumpleaños, means in what month is your birthday?
That's right. To answer, you can say en plus the month. For example, amigos, en octubre, in October. And you could say, en octubre es mi cumpleaños.
That's right. So you could use the full sentence as well. Mi cumpleaños es en, which means my birthday is in. Okay? So you could say, mi cumpleaños es en. So my birthday is in. And you could add the month of the year, like octubre, for example.
Amazing, amigos. Now, you've got everything you need to understand our mini conversation from earlier.
Yes, you do. But before we hit replay, we want to do our Spanglish friend shout out of the week. And this week's shout out goes to Michelle, who commented on episodio 15, where we taught you how to say the days of the week in Spanish.
Yes, she completed the challenge to say what day of the week it is, and she used the correct structure of hoy es, which, remember, friends, means today is. And then the day of the week when she was listening, which was martes, Tuesday. So she said, hoy es martes. Michelle, thank you for getting involved.
Yes, thank you so much. And Spanglish friends, do you want to shout out in an upcoming episode? Stick around and get involved in today's reto of the day, our challenge of the day.
Absolutely. But now let's replay our mini conversation, our conversación pequeña.
And try this time, Spanglish friends, to listen into those months of the year, those special rules we taught you, and also how Val and I ask each other what months of the year are our birthdays. Ready again, Profe Val?
Claro que sí, amiga. Of course, amiga. Comencemos. Hola, ¿sabes los meses del año en español?
Sí, los meses del año son enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre y diciembre.
Excelente, Emi. ¿En qué mes es tu cumpleaños?
Mi cumpleaños es en octubre.
Oh, el mío es en abril.
Amazing Spanglish friends. Let's break down this mini conversation now, line by line.
Absolutely. So first I said to ¿sabes los meses del año en español? Let's pause there. So I asked, ¿sabes los meses del año? Do you know the months of the year? The word sabes means do you know from the verb saber, to know. And los meses del año literally means the months of the year.
That's right. And then I listed all 12 months. And remember, Spanglish friends, we don't capitalize the months of the year when we write them down. Let's say them again slowly so you can repeat after me. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, and diciembre. You can try repeating them in chunks, maybe a couple at a time, like all the ones ending in O and then all the ones ending in bre at the end.
Nice. Then I asked, ¿en qué mes es tu cumpleaños? That means what month is your birthday? Cumpleaños. ¿En qué mes es tu cumpleaños?
That's right. And then I answered, mi cumpleaños es en octubre. I used that sentence structure we learned today to say mi cumpleaños, my birthday, es en, is in, and then the month, octubre.
Right. And I reply with, el mío es en abril. Mine is in April, our brilliant month. El mío means mine. We're referring to mi cumpleaños, which is masculine. So I used el mío.
Oh, great little new vocab you snuck in there, Val. We love it. So amazing, friends. Now that you can listen and understand that whole conversation, everything we said, let's summarize and cement our learnings from today.
The three things, friends, we want you to remember are número uno, how to say the 12th month of the year. They sound very similar to the English word, okay? So let's say them again slowly and you can repeat it after me. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, and diciembre. Número dos. I'm sure two top tips to help you remember the month from January to August. Most months end in O, except Abril, April. From September to December, they all end in bre, B-R-E. And last one, número tres. How to ask and answer the question, when is your birthday? You can ask, ¿en qué mes es tu cumpleaños? And reply with, mi cumpleaños es en plus the month, or simply say en plus the month.
And don't forget, Spanglish friends, we post a cheat sheet with these key 3 learnings every week from our episodes on our Instagram page. So if you're a visual learner like me, go and check those out.
Awesome. And tell our friends about the reto de la semana, our challenge of the week, to help them practice.
Absolutamente, Val. So this week's challenge, friends, is we want you to answer the question, ¿En qué mes es tu cumpleaños? Do you remember what that question means? What month is your birthday? ¿En qué mes es tu cumpleaños?
Use the sentence structure we taught you today, Spanglish friends. You can say, mi cumpleaños es en plus the month. For example, you can say, mi cumpleaños es en febrero. My birthday is in February. We can't wait to see your answers in the comments.
Yes, and spoiler alert, Spanglish friends, next week is going to be a fundamental episode that I can't stress you cannot miss, okay? We're going to be diving into the basics of regular verbs and verb conjugation. It's so critical for you to be able to say thousands of sentences as a beginner to say things like, I speak, you dance, we eat, I drink, whatever. So many sentences. It's so important to master as a beginner learner and level up your Spanish understanding.
So exciting. We are progressing a lot. Talk to you next week, Spanglish friends. Ten una semana maravillosa. Have a wonderful week.
Ciao. Hasta luego, amigos.
Thank you for listening to Spanglish Friends. We are both so proud of the time you're investing to level up your Spanish listening and speaking skills.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, follow us and give the show a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. Or even better, tell a friend about the show. It's how we can help even more people on their Spanish learning journeys and continue to grow our awesome, supportive community.
Don't forget to check out our socials, including Instagram and TikTok at Spanglish_friends for even more beginner Spanish fun.
Congratulations on taking another step today towards your Spanish learning goals. Ciao, Spanglish amigos. Until next time.
Hasta la próxima, amigos.